Purpose of Wealth 3. Comfort. Hello, Aluxers, and welcome back as we continue our Purpose of Wealth series. As much as people would like to brush it off as unimportant, comfort is actually the third reason why people crave wealth and one that is justifiable in its pursuit. If you haven't watched the first two parts covering freedom and security, we recommend you start there, as this is the first one to touch on the positive material benefits brought on by wealth. What is comfort if not the minimization of pain and misery? Comfort is what allows the individual to go through life and focus on pleasure and well-being. We are sensorial creatures, so comfort comes in many shapes and forms, going beyond the nice couch and living room. The first part of comfort is not external. It has to do with what's inside the body. Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. If you're not subscribed yet, you're missing out. Comfort through food. Everything we put into our body and environment alters the way we experience life. One of the greatest benefits of wealth is it'll allow you to improve these based on your personal needs and long-term benefits. For the average person, healthy food has become a luxury and an inconvenience. It's easier to grab some takeaway than fix yourself a salad, and most of the time it's even cheaper. People eat unhealthy food because of convenience, and on a second layer, because of financial reasons. Wealth serves as a facilitator for quality intake of energy and resources. When you eat right, you feel great, and feeling great is a form of comfort. Your body doesn't hurt, your muscles are strong, and your brain functions at a higher capacity. You feel amazing. This allows you to take care of you, the number one person you should be taking care of. For our earliest ancestors, food was quite literally wealth. Those who had access to food sources were deemed the wealthiest because they didn't have to struggle or fight for survival. That's just how big of an impact food has on our comfort levels. So we have this underlying component that associates food with our well-being. There's an entire universe of sensorial experiences that are triggered by food. One could literally explore every culture around the world through food if they chose to. Now, if you look to the layer on top of this, you'll find shelter. Comfort through shelter. Shelter is the combined outcome of freedom and security. It's your own corner of the universe that you've designed to fit who you are to the best of your ability. You're the king in this little empire that you've made up. Your home, because shelter is what your ancestors used to call it, is where you'll spend the average 2/3 of your entire life, 1/3 of which you'll be in bed sleeping. The purpose of wealth is to facilitate you as much comfort throughout your life as possible, and nowhere is there more of a clear application than in your own home. For one to be happy, one requires space, clean air, and water. The right medium can radically improve creativity, relieve stress, and induce happiness. Today, the average person cannot afford true comfort. As a society, we've chosen to prioritize economic development over the quality of life. People are now living in suboptimal conditions in what is closer to self-picked cages than anything else. How can one be happy when you're living here? Growing up in a former communist country, we know damn well what that's like. And please note that these people are fortunate to have a home. They're actually the global middle class. But a good portion of the population lives in what are actual slums. This is why you work hard. This is why you build wealth, so that nobody you care about will ever go back to these kinds of living conditions. Which takes us to the third and what is probably the most important type of comfort: child development in a comfortable environment. The good thing about growing up poor as a kid is you don't know you're poor, but inevitably you'll figure it out, and by that point it's usually too late. The scars of growing up in poverty have already altered who you are as an individual, and these events now serve as your core decision-making factors. In a very small portion of these, a fire starts burning up inside of them that allows them to escape poverty. Even for them, the hunger never stops, while for the rest, they just settle for what's, ironically, comfortable for them: mediocrity. Mediocrity means putting up with shit you wouldn't have to just because of how things are. Discomfort, abuse, and discrimination are just a few pieces of what this lifestyle endures. Through wealth, one can shield the next generation of these scars. We all want our children to grow up healthy, to thrive, be strong and valuable members of our society. With wealth, one has the power to change the landscape, to give those who have the potential a fighting chance to follow what they truly feel like, not what they must in hopes of survival. There are many types of comfort out there, but few seem more valuable than knowing your child is safe, which takes us to the next type of comfort. Comfort through privacy. We touched a little bit on privacy when talking about freedom, but there's more to it in terms of the comfort privacy provides. Privacy means the world is leaving you alone to be yourself, to be peaceful and comfortably away from other societal problems. The more the world evolves, the more we begin to see privacy as one of the most essential elements of a comfortable and free life, especially with the way technology is evolving. In our opinion, privacy is a fundamental right of every individual, and it's not just us. They figured this one out in 1948 under the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, Article 12, which states, "No one shall be subjected to arbitrary interference with his privacy, family, home, or correspondence, nor to attacks upon his honor and reputation. Everyone has the right to protection of the law against such interference or attacks." 150 countries agreed to abide by this. So what about social media actively using your data to make money? What about facial recognition software installed on CCTV cameras across the world? This is where things get tricky, because the argument always boils down to, we need to protect people from terror, which is valid, but if it comes through the infringement of our human rights to privacy, are we actually making any progress as a society? Nobody can live a truly comfortable life knowing that everything they do is being monitored and used against them, because that's not what freedom is fundamentally. Everything you do online is monitored. You watching this video or listening to the podcast version is being tracked. Every search you make, every click you do, every website, your name, your face, your age, your location, your love interests, your marital status, they even measure the time you spend looking at someone's photo in order to draw some data from it. This is why we personally no longer connect to the internet without a VPN. It's a simple-to-use software that hides all of this information from prying eyes with just one click. We reached out to the VPN company we use, NordVPN, and they're offering an exclusive deal to our community. Go to Alux.com/VPN right now and get yours. Not only will you get the best possible price, but it's the first step for you to take control of your privacy. That's Alux.com/VPN. You never realize just how much different elements can affect your comfort, which takes us to the last one in our life. Fun as emotional comfort. What's life without a bit of fun? The purpose of wealth is to facilitate your well-being in all shapes and forms. Fun is an integral part of feeling alive. We all have a variety of desires, and a good portion of those can be easily fulfilled with capital. So why not use your wealth for fun? Almost every type of fun can be acquired through money, from adventures to travel to toys. There's a certain feeling you get when that dose of dopamine hits you when you receive a gift, in whichever form it is. We're social creatures, and fun is a shareable concept. You can have fun with other people and share that dopamine-inducing source with others. What's the point of going through life without having fun? That's where we think most of the people on Wall Street get the building wealth aspect wrong. Money and wealth are supposed to be facilitators of living, not the other way around. Some people live to work, while others work so they can live. As long as you're living, never forget this. Make your money, hit your goals, but remember to use it so your life isn't just a financial high score. The concept of fun encompasses everything that makes your existence feel like it was worthwhile. Think about it. The most valuable things you have from your past are the fun memories you were able to collect. Nobody remembers their 6th paycheck, but we all remember hanging out late at night with our friends. Fun is emotional comfort. While for some people, fun comes from material toys, others find fun connecting to the universe in an emotional sense. When you look at wealth as a source of comfort, you realize the holistic approach one must follow. From feeding your body, protecting your mind, looking out for the future in the context of taking care of your soul. Wealth can do all of this for you if you know how to use it. As for those of you still with us, of course, we've got a bonus for you. Comfort in a predictable future leads to happiness. We feel stress because we're struggling to choose between what we want to do and what we have to do. If you take an iron bar and use force in two different points, it creates tension between them. That's why we're feeling stressed. We're unsure about the future. We're unsure. Everything is going to be fine because today is fine, yesterday was fine, and so was the day before. There's tremendous value in having a predictable future that's aligned with our expectations. On a deep level, happiness is the highest form of comfort. Think about it. We're happy when our reality is the same with what our expectations of what reality should be. If you think you have comfort but are not happy, did you really achieve true comfort? This is the type of question one should ask themselves in order to figure out where to focus their efforts, and by being here and consuming this type of content, you're pushing yourself toward personal progress. And that's exactly what we'll discuss in part 4 of this series. Progress, in all its wonderful forms. Make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss it when it goes live. And if you're enjoying this series, please write POW in the comments. It stands for Purpose of Wealth, and it would be useful to us to know if you're finding it valuable.